Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. Welcome to Lux Life Discovered. My guest today is Sabrina Medina with Sabrina Nicole Photography. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm
You're
very
welcome. You're
excited.
welcome. I tell you, you and I met. I was trying to think when we met or how we met, and I really don't remember. But do you remember?
Uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah, it was at a wedding. We worked together for the hangar airplane wedding.
Yes, yes.
That was
Aaron
a
and
very
Sawyer.
beautiful wedding.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, it was. Okay, I'm glad you said it because I was thinking, how did we meet? But that was their
Yeah.
wedding. Yeah.
Like the walkthrough before when we were planning and
Right,
everything.
right.
Yep.
And I love unique weddings. So that was
Mm-hmm.
the first airplane hangar that I've converted to a wedding reception,
That was
and
stunning.
it was
Yes.
yeah, it was nice, and the tarmac out, and then
Oh yeah,
yeah,
everything
so it
about it.
was good. Yeah, and you did such a great job with the photos because
Oh, thank you.
was that your first time to do
That
those
was
type photos?
no, that was my big first wedding with a big
Oh,
client
really?
and like
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
almost 200 guests. So that
yeah.
was a beautiful experience. And Aaron and Sawyer were a great couple to have.
Oh, yeah. And then to be able to have the hangar aspect and then to have the cocktail hour on the tarmac with the
Mm-hmm.
planes there, and it was
It
just
was
it was
stunning.
fun. Yeah. And when they hired me for that to be the planner for their wedding, a couple of months later, a lady in Arkansas wanted me to do the wedding for her
Oh
daughter at the
wow.
Crystal Bridges Museum in Bentonville, and I told her I couldn't do it, and I told because I told her I already committed to this wedding, and she's like, "Well, I want you to be the planner. How do we make it work?"
I
And I
think
said,
yeah, I remember you were
yeah,
telling me you were
the
on
only way I
both.
could do it is I
Mm-hmm.
could plan it, but I couldn't be there. But there's only
Mm-hmm.
one person that I would trust to be there the day of, and luckily she was available. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it was a crazy, crazy weekend for me too. A lot of firsts for me as
Yes, a
well.
double
But
header wedding.
yeah, yeah,
We're very used to that.
right. So, speaking of weddings, then, and since then, like, what's the most challenging part of like wedding photography? Because that's not easy.
Yeah, I definitely do think it does bring us challenges. But when you face or you deal with clients that are very trusting of your work and they love your style and they very like click with you, I think it makes the whole process easier and more
Sure.
enjoyable. And so far, I have been very blessed with such amazing clients. And this year, I already have some really great couples lined up, so I can't wait to work with them.
That's great. And of course, you're like me when I'm planning an event or a wedding. If you have the right vendors involved, it just makes your
The whole day is
yes,
so smooth,
yeah, because you don't have to worry
beautiful.
about things like if I have you as a photographer, for example, or if there are certain caterers and you
Hmm.
know florists, whatever. If I'm working with them,
Yes.
that part I don't have to think
I
twice
love
about.
working with Rick. He knows what he's doing. He leads the vendors to where they need to go. Everything just smooths so beautiful.
I appreciate
So it's always a great
that.
day when I get to work with you, whether it be a project or a paying client.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah,
It
we've
really
done
is.
some concept shoots. You've been the
Mm-hmm.
photographer on that.
Yes.
So,
Thank you so much for
oh,
that. I
we've
love
had,
it.
yeah, it's always been fun to do
Mm-hmm.
that. And again, the last one we did at the Alice, I kind of, you pretty much directed the flow for your shoots, your shots and everything, which is way, because that's
Mm-hmm.
where
Yeah, it was
that's
kind of
your,
like
yeah,
a neat like a concept because even though it was stylized, but we take those like those moments to really engage with the people
yeah.
like really clients and everything. So it was a nice evening. The whole shoot came together amazing.
Well, and you got some great photos of Anthony and Kiana because
Yes,
they're getting married next week in
yes,
a week.
very
And
soon. So
yeah,
excited to
I
see those photos.
know, I know. She's gonna be a beautiful
She
bride
sure
too.
is.
They're a
She's
sharp looking
beautiful.
couple and
Mm-hmm.
very nice too. So
Very
yeah.
sweet.
So what brought your or what generated your interest in photography? Has this been something that you've always thought about doing, or
Well, being honest, I didn't think of always doing it, but my interest with photography was always there, like since very little. You would always catch me looking at photo albums. My mom had a photo album like trunk, and so you would always see me on my spare time looking through those photos,
right?
and just completely in love with like how time was frozen in those.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until high school that I took it my freshman year, and I took an AP class. I scored a 5, which is the highest score you could have. And my teacher was like said, "Don't give this up." And I was a little like, "What do you mean?" Like I never thought
How
of
can I
it.
do it? Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of like, okay, she's just saying that because she's very sweet. But then as I kept going, and then closer to my senior year, when what am I gonna do with my life? And everything, I started to notice, okay, I can actually make this work, and my love for photography can really encourage me to pursue it. And yeah, it was COVID hit because I was a 2020 grad, and I was able to take that time to do Zoom mentorships and just really hone down on my skills. And that's how from there I ran with it, and now we're here 6 years in.
Well, you took something positive out of the COVID situation, which
Yes.
so many people have done, and they use that time because we rarely take time for ourselves to really
Mhm.
research and pursue other options. We're so, focused on what we're doing at the time.
Mhm.
COVID just
Yeah.
hit that pause button. And, for me, there were a lot of, I had a lot of like to-do lists when I had time,
Mhm.
a long one. And after COVID was over, there were still some things on that list. And I just scratched them off and threw it away because I thought if I didn't do it during COVID, I'm not
It's not gonna
interested in
get
doing it. Yeah, because I had plenty of time. So COVID kind of,
Yeah, it
cleared my
was
list
a
a little bit.
perfect time, I think, to really either pick up on some skills or work on those crafts that you haven't done.
Right.
And then for me, I just took that moment to really see if this was something I could pursue. And thankfully, I had really great mentors to this day. I'm very thankful for that. They instilled in me that confidence. And now I'm here. I keep 6 years in, which is crazy. In September,
I
it'll
know
be
that's, yeah.
6 years.
Wow. Yeah.
And I would say a year and a half, almost 2 years in, is when I did full with wedding as well.
Was it, what was it nerve wracking when you decided to go full time with weddings?
It was because I know it is a very precious and very sacred day for couples, and you
Mhm.
don't want to take that lightly. It's very important. They're putting so much of their time, their money, their love. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
It's very big. But like I said at the beginning, from day one, I've had the biggest support and the most loving couples, and them giving me the opportunity to do so, it was just great. And so I thankfully like thank to God, everything like it's just been a very encouraging like journey. So it was
Right.
a very nice process. I know opposed to others that they have had maybe other obstacles or problems, but it's been very nice for me.
Well, being an event planner and wedding planner, that's such a huge honor to work with a client on their special day, especially with the weddings. I can't imagine being a photographer. I mean, that to me would be like the most nerve wracking
Yes,
of all
there
things.
are
So
so
you're
many
always
aspects.
calm and,
Oh, thank
or on
you.
the outside anyway. You may not be on
I'm
the inside.
hoping, yeah.
Yeah.
On the inside, I'm always like, ah.
Right.
But yeah, I do
But
try to
you are, and
instill
that
that.
and that calmness just resonates everywhere, and it makes the brides feel more comfortable. And that's just like with the planner. If you do your
Yes,
job right, you carry the
exactly.
stress. And
Hmm.
like I tell them, you'll never know what I stressed about until it's over, and you still may not know then because why?
Exactly.
Why
Yeah.
do you need to know?
We will
Yeah,
not let you know if anything's going south.
true.
We will keep things
Don't smile. Yeah,
rolling and like everything is perfect.
may go in
Um,
the back room and scream sometime,
yes,
but yeah,
yes. But it's a part of it, and and we love it. We love what we do. So I think that's
yeah,
what also it brings and it shares with the clients when we work with them.
that's true. Sonny, you do make photography mainly. Do
Hmm.
you do? Will you ever branch into videography, or have you thought about it?
I
Or
have thought of it,
okay,
but it's always like something that you have to put a lot of, because you want to craft it perfectly. You want
right,
to, or at least close to perfect. But you want to get everything to the T. And so I just haven't had the moment really to like expand. Every time I do want to do like a creative project or something, I get closer to, okay, let me focus on the photos.
yeah,
So I fall back into my little comfortable spot. But I do a lot of with my digital, also film
okay.
photography, whether it be 35 millimeter film or the instant Polaroids and stuff that are keepsakes for my clients, which they love those, and
Oh,
I
sure,
do too.
yeah. So, do you like working with second shooters?
I do. I think they add a lot of like angles and give you so much more life to your photos, especially when there are moments where I can't be in two spots at once.
Right,
Whether I'm either focusing more on the bride and her getting ready moments, or my second shooter can go and focus with the groom, and it just adds so much life to the photos, and it gives like them the whole day equally represented.
right.
Hmm.
Social media influencers have become a big thing, following the bride the whole day and that
Yes,
type thing.
the
Have
content creators, yeah.
yes, yes. Have you had an issue with that yet, or been around that, or
No,
has it been
no.
good? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
No, no, no. The content creators I've worked with, they have been so amazing in giving all of us video, photo, and content creation. Like we all have our little space, our moment to tell a client, hey, let's do this or let's do that. So thankfully, the people that I've worked with, they have been very respectful, not getting in each other's ways. And at the beginning of a wedding day, when I'm meeting the vendors and everything, because for the most part, I'm meeting them that day for
Yeah,
the first time. So I say, hey, remember, we're a team. We're working together. I'm not against you. We're doing this for the same client. So let's work together to get
right.
what the client needs. This is not about us. It's about them.
Yeah,
And usually, like, I've never had a bad experience where we're getting in each other's ways or anything.
that's
No,
good. Yeah.
it's been like a smooth sailing.
And you brought out a good point. You're a team that day
Yes.
because the client is the
Yeah.
focus. And, it's amazing too, things that I've done before that as a planner, of course, as a planner, you're involved in every aspect
Mm-hmm.
of it, but there's still things that I've done that probably weren't in the job description, but you do it anyway, so
Yes.
whether it's like cleaning
And you
up
do
or,
it happily too,
yeah,
you know?
because you want it to go smoothly for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
because if you look good, I'll look good, that
Exactly.
type
Yeah,
thing. And
we're all the
yeah,
vendors, all of us, from
right,
food to venue, everything, video, photo, content. We're all a team working for the same people.
right.
So let's act like one.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true. That's a good point. So, being in Panama City Beach, that's where you're based, or are you in the beach, or are you in Panama
Yes.
City?
Well, yes, based in Panama City, and I branch out through Panama City Beach, 30A, Destin, even Mexico Beach area, like just kind of
Okay,
depending on which side I'm being pulled to. But yes.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And do you like beach weddings, or are they more of a challenge?
I like for the whole beautiful sunset, kind of, gorgeous, dreamy photos. But I will not lie that I do like those few that I get either a garden or just
Yeah,
full, like terrace, balcony kind of weddings that are overlooking the water. The sand can be very challenging at times.
yes.
So
And
if
that's
I'm
what
being
people
honest,
don't understand. They see all these great setups on the beach,
yes.
but they don't understand what goes into that
Mm-hmm.
being perfect
Yeah.
while you're there, because wind can be an
Yes.
issue, sand blowing can be an
Mm-hmm.
issue. And so it's a lot that goes into it that people don't understand. And the planners that do the beach weddings, I mean,
Yeah, props to you.
more hats to them,
I
right?
mean,
Because
you have to drag everything out there. So I only, have my little props and whatever I'll leave
yeah,
upstairs and just take what I need at the beach. But it is a little bit of, I do it happily, but my preference is
yeah,
mostly on those garden, or there's the beach house kind of, just staying all in one spot. And I think it
right.
adds like a different element where it's still coastal, but you have a different aspect to
That's true. Yeah, yeah. We could always put a back screen at the beach.
it.
So no, but so how would you describe your style? So if someone's coming contacting you, I want to know, like, tell me your style, that type of thing.
Yes.
How would you describe it?
Yes, I am very biased because I love my style. I think it represents a lot of who I am as a person as well. I would say it's very joyful, bright, true to life, but just with a pop of color. So I really do hone down on making sure that everything how your day was, but just adding that pop of color to make it more to life kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that. I like
Mm-hmm.
that. So what has been your biggest challenge so far?
Biggest challenge. I would say I would say self-doubt at times
Okay.
sometimes when it comes to slow season, because we do have a slow season, especially in our winter time, and not maybe those inquiries will slow down a bit, um, and because I also do portrait with my wedding, I do portrait and wedding, um, and so sometimes those portrait sessions kind of tend to slow down. Weddings usually they reach out in advance, but those portraits also, I love doing them. And so when I see them a little slow down, I'm like, oh my goodness, is my pricing okay? Or is my style okay? Am I what the people need? So that starts to kind of weigh down on me.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was at the end of 2025 a little bit, if I'm being honest. It was kind of slow. And I would tell my friends, my family, I was like, hey guys, I'm a little nervous. Like, what's going on? But thankfully, if you you get the encouragement from loved ones, and they're like, no, you got to keep going, and it picked up little by little, and it is picking up, and talking to more brides and everything. So it's been great. It's
Well,
been
good.
good.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be your own worst critic when you
Yes.
work for yourself, and
Mhm.
especially in this business, because
Yeah.
it seems like we go from feast to famine. It's in
Yes.
cycles, and then if I'm ever like 2 or 3 days without anything, the first day I'm okay. Second day I'm just like
Yeah.
a lunatic. My wife
Yes.
is like, "Would you please
Yeah.
stop?"
Mhm.
So but you overthink it sometimes and
Yes.
second guess,
Yeah,
and
you really do.
yeah,
You really do. And especially at the beginning when I first started, my thing was, my style wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I knew how I wanted my photos to be, but because I couldn't get there that quickly and everything, and self-doubt crept in, and I said, okay, my work is not good enough. But it takes a little bit of time. But if you
Yeah.
keep and you pursue, I'm thankful to be where I am, and I wouldn't change it.
Well, I think you do a great job.
Oh,
So
thank
that's
you,
for
Rick.
sure. So, are there any like well-known photographers nationally that you look up to? Not that you follow their style of work necessarily, but what type of photographers, what kind of motivation do they give you?
Yeah, I remember when I first started, there weren't out of state, but they were here locally, and I loved her work. Kayla Baptista Photography.
Okay.
She really was an inspiration when I found her page, and I said, "This is what I've been looking for. This is kind of," and so I was able to kind of hone down a little bit and get my style kind of to my own personality, but very similar because I kind of like how her colors were and everything. So she was a really great inspiration. I was so happy when she followed me back as well. When I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a whoa, like you're a little,
You noticed me,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's great, and to this day, like just seeing more photographies in that same kind of style, I'm like, okay, so it's a normal, kind of style and everything. Because at the beginning also it was very those warm colors and very golden, which is still beautiful, but it just wasn't true to me.
Right.
So she was a really big photographer who I looked up to, and to this day I still do. I love her work.
Well, and you brought out a good point too just now about it wasn't true to you. Being true to yourself and your style of work is what brings people in.
Yes.
Because if they wanted, you know, I don't know how am I going to say that. If they wanted just like anybody to do it, anybody could take the picture. But
Yes.
they're looking for they are
Mm-hmm.
attracted to you because of that style.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely do think that like when you are true to yourself, and I keep saying like how my style really does. I feel like it speaks who I am as a person.
Mhm.
So like if you see my photos, I'm like, oh, yep, that's Sabrina. Like
Yeah,
that's her. That's who she is in a person. So I was very happy when I was finally able to nail down. And even at the beginning, when I finally was, I till this day I kept tweaking it, and you evolve. You keep evolving,
yeah,
and so my style has changed just slightly, but it's still that same bright and joyful that I've always loved.
that's good. That's good. Two things that you'll always doubt yourself on. I've done this for 18 years, and pricing will always be
Yes.
something that'll go through your mind. And I found that once I set an established base price that was higher than most, I got more work because if you're too low,
Mm-hmm.
people don't take you seriously,
Yes.
or they think, well, she doesn't know enough to,
Yeah.
or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy mindset, but it's true.
Yes.
And then I'm just, getting past that, like we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about the people calling,
Yeah.
people get busy. I get busy,
Mm-hmm.
and but I don't want them to get busy and forget about me. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
there's a difference there. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay for me to be busy sometime, but if you're a client, always remember me. Yeah, because
Exactly.
I'm going crazy on the other end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you do see that, especially when you get called back by clients, whether it was like a wedding client, and then I get called in because, oh, they're announcing they have a baby,
Right.
or hey, my whole family's coming to a vacation. We want a big extended family, session. Awesome. So when that happens, I'm like, I'm doing
That's a
something right,
and that's the
you
greatest
know?
compliment too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I love
So
that.
speaking of that, you not only do the weddings, you do senior portraits, you
Yes.
do the beach like
Mm-hmm.
reunion for families, that
Yes.
type thing.
Yeah, so I really do portrait photography as well. So whether it be like a senior who's graduating or families, proposals, kind of, anything that kind of falls in that
Yeah.
realm of portrait, I also enjoy doing that.
Okay. And what piques your interest in that?
That I think just the intimate connection with like the families, and I'm very big on like, hey, we have to celebrate this time that we are in right now. Whether it's, we got together for a family vacation, or I'm graduating, or hey, I just got engaged. I think
Yeah,
it's very like we have to really savor in the moment and make it freeze because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
that's true. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, what is one of the most exciting opportunities you had as a photographer so far? I know you've only done it 6 years, but still.
No, but I've had my little, my stories.
Yeah.
I think the fact that I love to travel. I'm very big on traveling. I love experiencing new cultures and branching out of Panama City and 30A, even though it's beautiful, but I like seeing the world. There's so
Yeah.
much to offer. So I think whenever I do take those personal vacations with my family or my friends, and being able to take my work, I've been able to shoot in New York, overseas, Italy, France, like just doing my work in different places of the world
Yeah.
and seeing how no matter what, we're all humans and we're all connected by love. Like I think that's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so that has been honestly one of my top tier moments as a photographer, getting to document that love no matter where I go.
Right. And like you said, doing it, watching the Olympics in Italy. My gosh, I've never been there. I just can't. It's beautiful. That's
Oh
on my
yeah.
bucket list for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
You gotta go,
But
Rick. You gotta
yeah,
go.
and to be able to, as a photographer, go and document like everything,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be so
Yes,
interesting.
yes. And just, savoring in those moments there as well as like together as family and just experiencing that, I think it's just been so like eye-opening. So I think that really, if I had to say one thing that's just been so exciting of
Yeah.
in my photography journey, it's been that like just seeing life in a different spot and documenting it the same way,
Right. So we're into 2026. It's hard to believe it's almost March. We're
I know,
mid-February,
it's
and
crazy.
what is something big you'd like to see in 2026 or even 2027? Have you thought about like the project that would be ideal if it came along, or some type of shoot, or
Like project wise
yeah,
or like trends? Would you
both?
both?
Let's do both. Yeah.
I would say I'll answer the trends part first.
Okay.
For trends,
I'm glad you brought this up because there's so many trends with
right,
yes,
right.
yes,
There's you got to keep up with them.
right.
I
Or
would
get rid of them.
right,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
if they're not great, then
right.
but I would say for like trends, I really like the idea of colors.
Okay.
Colors again, it goes very well with my style. So I love adding in those colors, layering them, and them all coming together so seamlessly. I think it's very beautiful, and especially when you have a gorgeous backdrop, like Seaside Chapel
Mhm.
or just very neutral backdrops that you can add those colors to. I think that's very stunning. So I really do. I hope those stick around. I know that kind of started, I feel like 2025. And
Right.
I think it definitely should stick around a little bit more because they're beautiful. And when you do it so great, pictures are amazing.
Then,
Chef's
and
kiss.
it also goes into where you're located
Yes.
because I'll do some things here that I truly enjoy, and then maybe in Arkansas 2 years later, that's like the thing. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
we this is not new, that type
Uh-huh.
thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to kind of again go with your client and their wishes and their.
Yes.
You can offer suggestions and nicely
Mm-hmm.
say, we probably shouldn't
Yeah.
do that, or
Yeah.
that's been tried and it didn't work,
Mm-hmm.
or this has worked great,
And it's a great thing, like
and
when you work with vendors that have done it for some time, that they can offer also like the insight, like, hey, the client wants this, but the vendor can be like, okay, that's amazing, that's
yeah,
beautiful. Maybe we could do this way as well, add that.
make it
So
and to make it yours and make it unique
exactly,
and not just.
exactly.
I don't like
Mm-hmm.
duplicating anything. I
Yes.
want it to be personal. I want it to
Every
be
story
yes,
is unique.
right,
It's
right.
theirs. We have to reflect it to them.
Yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
said this on on a podcast before, but the worst thing a client can tell me is like, "We want you to do it. You do great work." Well, it's
Mm-hmm.
like this is not my wedding or my event.
Uh-huh.
What's your personality? That's what I want to know. I want to
Yes.
reflect that because I want to be something they truly enjoy. And
Exactly.
just like you, when they get their photos back and
Mm-hmm.
all their images, they're like,
Yes.
"Wow,
They can look
yeah,
back on it and see like, hey, that's us.
yeah,
That's us in a photo.
yeah." And she
Mm-hmm.
captured us, captured our personality, captured us. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's not just like a stock photo that.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And yep, exactly.
yeah. What's the greatest compliment someone could give you?
Um, I would say coming back to me, that
Yeah.
and also when they say like, we trust you. That is just it's music to my ears because it means, hey, I'm doing something good, I'm doing something right, and it instills that confidence sometimes when I'm feeling at a low, that
Right.
I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should do this or something. But when they say those, they come back to me for family photos or again another important milestone in their life, and we say, no, we trust you, whatever you want to do. That is just amazing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I agree with you on that because that is the greatest compliment they can give you.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So what would you tell someone starting out, besides don't be my competition, but if
Nah.
someone starting out as a photographer or having that interest, where would you guide them?
You know, I would guide them into. I would really first try working on that confidence because I know that starting, I know from experience, that it can be very shaky at the beginning. You just don't know what's going on. Sometimes you doubt yourself, and you're just like, "Is this really for me?" But if you really do want it and you really love it, you got to keep going after it. You can't
Yeah.
let it go. So I would really try working on that confidence, just to tell them, "Hey, you can do this. You're doing great. Keep it up." Because that's what they did for me when I first started. They instilled that confidence in me to why so I could run with it. And then from there, I would really just try to tell them as well, be true to yourself, to your style, because that is what's going to get people, to you.
Yeah.
That connection, that human connection, from emails, from phone calls, from Instagram, the way you cater everything, that's human connection.
That's the key to right there on your social media.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it
Yes.
reflects you
Yes.
and the way you are, because and be smart with all that,
Mm-hmm.
because people do look, and
Yes.
that's where they make a
Exactly.
decision. Sometimes before they even contact you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're putting things on there that you shouldn't put on there,
Yes.
or it doesn't reflect your true
Mm-hmm.
style, that could eliminate some
Exactly.
possibilities before they even
Exactly.
arise. So
Yes.
yeah,
I do try to, very showcase. And that's why I keep saying, like, I feel like my page, my branding, and everything from my website to my Instagram, like, I really do think I take pride in that. And it's taken time, but I do take pride in that it reflects who I am. And I'm proud of that.
yeah,
That's my baby.
yeah. That's good. That's good. All right, we're going to put your information on the screen, so if people want to contact you, they can either email you or follow you on Instagram or both.
Yes.
And but yeah, make sure you visit with Sabrina and find out what she can do for your special day or your
Hmm.
event, and give her the opportunity to discuss it with you.
Yes, I'd be
So,
so happy to do so.
all right. Well,
Hmm.
thank you for being with
Thank
us
you,
today.
Rick. Yeah.
So, all right, and thank you for joining us again for Lux Life Discovered. We will see you soon.